In the 1945, World War II ended. Tim Winton's stories, such as Breathe and Dirt Music, include the struggle and the increase of prices, as well as little to no employment. Winton was not a part of the high class. He came from an ordinary working class of Australians who lived in housing estates and found their enjoyments in the natural and inexpensive things they found around them. In the 1960s, skateboards were invented. Dirt Music by Tim Winton uses the character Georgie and her stepson Josh, which strikes the entire mood of the story, as Georgie accidentally breaks Josh's skateboard. Cultural diffusions are seen in the novel Dirt Music because skateboards were exported to Australia, so the author includes these items in his book. Also in the 1960s, this decade was dominated by the War of Vietnam. Winton portrays the character's life with the events occurring in the Vietnam War. He shows comparison through the lives of soldiers and the unaffected individuals throughout his stories Breathe and Dirt Music. Since Tim was a child, he traveled to France, Germany, Australia, and his father, just like his grandfather, had been soldiers at war. But Tim isolated himself and began writing his stories. This is the reason that Tim Winton's characters in the story are little affected by the war. August 4, 1960s, Tim Winton was born in Perth, Western Australia. In 1968, Tim Winton learned to surf at Scarborough Beach. All of Tim Winton's stories include an insight of surfing and the wonders of the Indian Ocean, which are seen in Breathe and Dirt Music. His novel Breathe states, "I will always remember my first wave, how the wave drew me forward and I sprang to my feet, skating with the wind of momentum in my ears." Winton began to surf the Indian Ocean to forget about the troubles of war. He drowned everything around him and began his expeditions on surfing. During the 1970s, Australia was post-Christian age or anti-Christian culture. Winton adds the significance of God throughout his novels Breathe and Dirt Music, but this was against the current at the time. His novel Breathe states, when you're still alive and standing at the end, you get this tingly electric rush. You feel alive, completely awake in your body. Man, it's like you felt the hand of God. Give me the hand of God. Tim Winton was an eccentric person. He did not follow other people, so this is the reason why his stories contain Christianity, because he did not care about society's beliefs in the 1970s. Technology was a major component in Dirt Music because in the 1970s it was known as the digital revolution and the invention of televisions. Dirt Music quotes, "The tape played out and rewound automatically, and when it was done, she sat in the ambient hum of other domestic machines." In 2004, Winton saved the Nagulo Reef and turned it into a marine park so that people could enjoy the beauty of the ocean and the wonders within it. Winton teaches the world that small and insignificant things in life are extraordinary. As of today, the public is psyched about meeting the best loved Australian novelist, and thus many films are approaching soon. Tim's latest novel, Breathe, symbolizes a yearning desire that is reached and a troubled past that is left behind. The main characters, Bruce Pike, is creepy, quiet, and a coward. He is always thinking beforehand and does not enjoy risking life. But after he meets his mate, Looney, his life takes a turn. Ivan Loon. Loon has been known as the one to take risks. He is not afraid of anything that stumbles his way. As the story continues, he takes the wrong path and gets introduced to drugs, so he leaves his hobby and surfing behind. Billy Sanderson, also known as a professional surfer, he teaches the teenage boys to lose their fear and explore all the reckless obstacles that there is in surfing. Then there is Eva Sanderson, a professional ski woman, wife of Billy, exhausted to be alone as Sando travels all around the world, whereas she has a fractured knee, so she seeks company in a 15-year-old boy, Bruce, in which they meet each other's desires. Another of Tim Winton's novels, Dirt Music, symbolizes a troubled past with the main character, Luther Fox, as he struggles to play his guitar, the only item that he has left. The main character's Georgie Jutling. She is an unusual 40-year-old woman. Many people find her rare because she dresses like a tomboy, and she currently left her husband, Jim Buckridge. She also enjoys swimming in the ocean because it refreshes her mind, and she is currently a nurse with a troubled past. Luther Fox, an illegal fisherman that does not know what to do with his life. But after he meets Georgie, he feels guilty that he is happy, whereas all his family members died tragically. In the past, he was a part of a family band where he sang and played guitar, but as everything died, he left the sound of music behind him. Jim Buckridge, the prosperous fisherman that everyone looks up to. He is a strong, devoted man, and he is married to Georgie. However, his life was not always easy. He has a past that he does not speak of, and he also had an ex-wife that died. Jim was left with 2 sons, whereas Georgie became their stepmother. But their family relationships were drifting apart, so a divorce was later seen. In the 1970s, music started to become popular all throughout the world. Dirt music also reflects this as it quotes, "God knows, music will undo you." Tim Winton had a passion for music. He made comparisons of music in his stories with popular singers of his time. Tim Winton continues to be a part of people's life. He has brought a new perspective in viewing the world and has reached the hearts and minds of many young adults. Winton has informed the society of the natural history of Western Australia, which has changed the lives of many people.